Yeah, I don't get it at all. I don't get it at all, man. I don't get it at all. I don't get why some relatives gotta tell you about how some other relatives are in another country like Amsterdam or Russia or whatever place it is. As if like you were there with them. Like I be hating when people be telling me like this person was at this place and that place, knowing damn well I'm not even there and I'm not even a part of the action. Like if I'm not a part of that particular activity, there's no even need to bring it to me. You know, I don't get it. I don't get it. I need to see the sign because, like, for real, I feel like certain biological people of mine are like it's like privilege. It's like there's some type of they're like from some type of other lineage. Because what kind of fucking public school in United States, so-called AKA the land of the free, is gonna have some students go to a whole nother country? When I was going to fucking public schools, I never went to these other countries and shit. Never. Because for why I was in fucking Jim Crow land. And Jim Crow land is nothing but concerned about bills and tax all damn day. Like hardly could even pursue any profession out in Jim Crow land. And I wasn't even born in Jim Crow land. I was born on the west coast of North America. So like when I hear about other biological people, doing some fun things out in another country or some stuff like that with no care in the world, I always had to hear about bills and tax all the time, man. Can't even pursue my profession. I could have been a famous person if only I had more support from majority of biological relatives that I have known in this current lifetime. But no, I couldn't. I wasn't famous. But all because egotistical beings that are biologically related. And I wasn't in a fucking bloodline of so-called royalty to do these things, going to Amsterdam and all this other shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. And when it comes to biological folks on my mom's side of the family, of the biological family, it's like with me, it's always about bills, tax, and mortgage and things like that. It's like I don't never have nothing, no interesting conversations with like people on my mom's side at all. Like it just be so bland, and like it's just like I just don't really feel connected with them and stuff. Because let me tell you something. Like a person like me as highly intelligent, as highly talented I am in a lot of things, I really should be famous. I'm supposed to be one of those people who be having like 66 billion followers and subscribers and shit based on the talent that I have. But I don't have that because, for one, I was born in I was born into a biological family that have a lot of egos, and they're like one track mind people. So it's like it's hard for anyone like me who doesn't fit in with the rest of the biological folks on the mom's side to be famous. These people like the Duke Dennises of the world, the Agent 00s, the Flight Reacts. You see, they got biological families that helped them become famous. But me, on the other hand, I wasn't able to become famous, which means like me pushing hard for my profession actually takes a longer time to do than what someone like Flight Reacts or Duke Dennis or the Agent 00s or the Geo Wises had to do, because they had support of biological relatives for them to be social media famous. Because we all know the way people be getting famous is through relatives. That's how it works. Me, on the other hand, I couldn't become famous because I was born into a one-track mind type of family, for real. And yeah, man, it's fucking stressful as hell. It's stressful as hell when I think about it, because I'm like, damn, why I had to be born into a one-track mind biological family instead of being born into like, creative, intelligent folks. Like So it's like my only hope now to become famous. I gotta really rely on people that's not biologically related to me to become famous now. That's the turning point that I really hit for now. Like every time I think about this, like I be seeing some biological cousins on my mom's side of the family that are like very privileged, like on some royal bloodline type deal where they're like basically like royalty to be able to have the privilege to do certain professions and go to all these different countries and shit. While me, who seems I wasn't born into like a royal bloodline on my biological sides of the mom side of the family, it seems for me, since I'm like one of these so-called talented people, the highly intelligent people, the spiritual people, it's like everything's more harder for me than it is for my biological cousins on my mom's side of the family who was like born into royalty when I wasn't born into royalty, since I come from a different lineage. So it's like for me, it's like it's just really nerve wracking. It's frustrating because I know for me, I know I'm supposed to be famous for everything that I'm talented in and highly intelligent in, and it really like, and every time I be hearing like, negative thinking biological relatives on my mom's side of the family, it causes me not to eat. It causes me not to drink or do anything. Like for real, that shit be hurting me, man. Cause like with certain people on my mom's side of the biological family, it's like, damn, they ain't gotta hear about bills and tats all the time. I gotta hear about bills and tats all the time, man. But this shit's crazy. And the thing is that highly intelligent as I am as a person, when it comes to my biological families and stuff, a lot of things would have gone better for them if only they told me about some things sooner. Like imagine being told at 5 years old about loans, mortgage, tats, house notes, and all this shit. If I was told all this stuff when I was 5 years old, man, bro, my dude, a lot of my biological families, man, they probably be living in houses right now. Like they'll probably be living in like fucking mansions and shit, and we ain't had to worry about having to pay some high ass rent and nothing because I'm a highly intelligent person, but no biological relative on my mom's side even cared to like even tell me about this stuff when I was like super young, and I could have like, bro, because I'd be making some good ass decisions. Like it's crazy, man. Like me, like I could say this, like far as like in a spiritual sense, I'm royalty, but like in a biological sense, like when it comes to like the biological family heritage sense, I'm not of royalty, but I'm royalty of a spiritual sense, you know. So like far as me being royalty, I'm royalty in the sense of like far as like any individuals that's like considered like spiritual family, even though they're not biologically related to me. Like I'm royalty in in my spiritual family, but far as like biologic sense, I'm not royalty in that sense. Because when it comes to like royalty in the biological families, they can be able to have certain privileges to do certain things, and they don't have to be put into things like with the bills and tats and mortgage sagas the way that people that's not of royalty in the biological families had to put up with. But as far as my spiritual family, I'm basically like royalty in that sense, and like in the spiritual realms and all that. It's like, for one example, right? Like if somebody on my mom's side of the family, brings up bills and tats and how they're going to do this and do that and be so negative in thinking, but they be so high on this Jazzy Bell demonic religions that they don't see as a Jazzy Bell demonic religion, spirituality, that they put so much faith in. When they come to me with so much negative thinking, even though they're so high on religions, it really makes me think to myself, why are they so negative thinking about how they're gonna take care of bills and tats, but they put so much faith inside these Jezebel demonic spirit religions, and they don't even feel confident with their so-called Jezebel demonic saviors to like actually, take care of bills and tats. Like, why it gotta be brought up with me? Like, other people on my mom's side of family, like, my other cousins and all that stuff, man, they never have to hear about bills and tats and mortgage all the time. I be the main one that has to hear it. Like, it's crazy, man. It's like, bro, like, it be over 90 people on my mom's side of the family that be having a negative way of thinking, and it's just crazy. That stuff really stressed me out internally to the point it's kind of hard for me to eat. Like I could probably have a craving. Like, I could probably not eat for like 5 days as soon as I get hungry. But as soon as a biological relative on my mom's side, like, comes with negative thinking, how they gonna be able to do this and do that, and they don't feel confident they're gonna be able to do it, that causes me to lose my appetite, because people that be thinking so negative, especially when it comes to biological relatives that think negative, man, like, it's like I don't even want to talk to them no more. And it's like there's nothing I'm gonna be able to say to help them. So it's like it causes me to be stressed internally, and I don't even eat. It's crazy. But one thing I know for sure, like, some biological relatives of mine on my mom's side that be living out in these fucking privileged places in North America, like the fucking Virginias and the goddamn Marylands and shit, they privileged as fuck because they get to have all this privileged high schools and colleges and shit that take them all these different countries and shit. Kind of like silver spoon type deal. But man, I don't even associate with majority of my biological cousins on my mom's side. I don't even like hearing about them when it's always brought up to me. Like, I just don't be saying nothing. Like, it really just don't sit with me. It don't sit well with my spirit at all to hear about, biological cousins that I don't associate with on my mom's side of the family, of what they doing and everything, when I'm not even a part of the action myself. It makes no sense. There's a reason why they're not spiritual family and they're only just biological family, in a sense of being biologically related, but it's no fucking spiritual relatings. It ain't no soul relatings, because if it was some soul relatings, I would have been a famous person by now for the things that I can do, and I could have been pursued my professions. But other people on my mom's side of the family that's born into a royal bloodline, they can pursue some professions and shit because they're connected with Masons and fucking Eastern Stars and fraternity folks, man. I'm not, because I don't come from that lineage.